begin and give it a minute, and then we will also go live on Instagram. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us back on Education Island's Ask, Learn, and Do series. I'm Anam Hamid, and today we have a really interesting conversation with ICT Business School. This is the first time we're doing something with ICD, so I'm very excited about that. We have with us Sharon Fernando, and she's a quality officer and lecturer at the business school. And very warm welcome to you, Sharon.
Thank you so much for this, brief introduction, Anam. I'm really honored to be a part here in the live session and representing ICD Business School. And I definitely look forward to this session, how it unfolds.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Sharon, I think just to start everyone off, if you could maybe just give us an idea about, ICD Business School. Everyone has heard of certain brands from Ireland like a TCD or a UCD and, various colleges, but maybe not ICD as much. And they should, and this is the first of it. So tell us about the business school.
Yeah, to start with ICD Business School, so we are established from 2001, and there are few important players or members in our business school, which I would really want to highlight on. So we have Mr. Vincent Barre, who's the founder of the school, and we have Miss Joyce, who is the current registrar of our institution. So she, along with her team, looks after your admission process as well as your visa. And the next important member is Dr. Jason Haley. So he is the chief executive designate and the program director. And we do have team members who are looking after quality assurance. So if you talk about our team, we are members of different nationalities. It's not just Irish or Ireland. So that's the beauty about our team. We have people from different places across the globe with our experience, trying to make it better for students. And to talk more about our business school, we are located in city center. So whether it is your accommodation, whether it is your commutation, uh, you know, the path is pretty simple for you to reach the school. And of course, that's a brief outlook about ICD Business School.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And I'm just going to quickly pick out. There's a lot of questions I do want to cover with you, and I encourage everyone who's joining in. If you have any questions for Sharon, please put it in the chat box, and I'll be very happy to ask her for you. But you mentioned quality assurance. Can you tell me what that means exactly? Because you don't hear of that very much.
Yeah, so to talk about quality assurance, if you know ICD Business School, not just ICD Business School for that matter, any colleges that run in Ireland, we are associated with an awarding body called as the QQI. So QQI stands for your Quality and Qualifications Ireland. And there are set of framework that QQI gives to these colleges based on which all our programs run. So the quality assurance team looks after that. So we do see that, are we meeting up with those frameworks? Are we ticking off those check boxes that has been provided by QQI to us? And ultimately, when a student comes, studies here, and goes out, that degree becomes a globally recognized one. So that is what is my work as a quality officer.
Wonderful. And it's great to know that someone is looking after all of
Correct.
these, things for international students in particular.
Correct.
Now, moving on to what you offer, I know there are a
Hmm.
host of programs that are offered at
Hmm.
ICT Business School, but today
Hmm.
we are talking about specifically the postgrad diploma in accounting and financial services. So,
Hmm.
could you give us like a brief overview and help our audience understand what it's all about?
Yeah, so I'm here to talk about the postgraduate diploma in accounting and financial services, which is a QQI recognized degree. So QQI's highest level is NFQ level 10. And when you talk about this degree, this is NFQ level 9, which is almost close to 10. So it is an equivalent master's degree. Now, to talk more about this degree, I would say that it's an interesting one because the curriculum or the module itself is framed with the help of a lot of financial experts. And if you talk about it, it's a 1 year program. So, unlike our master's degree, which is a 2 year program, this is a 1 year degree, and it's divided into three phases. So, it's a trimester. So the phases run between the first phase that runs from September to January, wherein we offer some core subjects like corporate governance, advanced taxation with respect to the Irish market, business policy, and data analytics. And our second trimester that runs from Feb to June, which is specialized in terms of financial modules. So we do have strategic financial management, investment and portfolio management, risk management, and insurance. And the interesting part about our third phase, which runs between July to September, for 3 month period, it is work placement. So the beauty about this course is our work placement. So here it's a direct hands-on experience that students get with any financial service company. And ICD does partners with a lot of recruitment firms to help students find a placement. So if you are somebody who graduates from this course, you are automatically in demand in the Irish job market. So that's the beauty about this particular course. And it's not just that. Now, the thing is about those 3 months. So initially, the company might recruit you as an intern, and if they're really happy with your job, you automatically get qualified for a full time job. So, as you already know, whenever you do any form of master's program in Ireland, you automatically get qualified for a 2 year post study visa. So, that's the beauty about this course. So, ultimately, you would move abroad for an employment purpose to upskill your, whatever is your existing skills, you want to polish it and then, move further with an employment perspective. So, this is an interesting opportunity, a good opportunity for any student to move here and pursue this course.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so my next question then would be, who exactly is this program designed for, and what are the sort of entry requirements that you have for this postgrad diploma?
Okay. So it is very simple. The first criteria is any student who qualifies NFQ level 8. Now, what do you mean by NFQ level 8? So, if I have to translate in Indian terms, it basically means that students with a bachelor's degree, so bachelor's in commerce or a business administration course, would automatically be eligible to apply for this program. The second one is students who have completed their fundamental ACCA papers from F1 to F9 along with a bachelor's degree would automatically qualify for this program. And again, let's say you do not have the above to mention criteria, but you have an extensive work experience in the same field, then on an individual basis, the management would decide that whether you qualify for the program or not. So you have three criteria through which the entry is pretty possible and easy as well.
Oh, brilliant. And it's great that you keep that open because, I think, and this is something that Ireland really does really well, is,
Hmm.
you don't want to lose worthy candidates just because
Correct.
they may not have made the right
Hmm.
sort of, choices about their degree, or they didn't know exactly what they wanted to do a little earlier in life, especially at the undergrad level. So that's wonderful to hear. And we do have some questions coming in because whatever is relevant, I'll ask you side by side. And Varnita has asked about the duration of the course. You've covered that. It is a 1 year degree as
Correct.
against your master's, which is the 2 years, right? That's what you had
Correct.
just
Yeah.
mentioned. And there's already the most popular question that we get, of course, Sharon, is on scholarships. So we have Gunnu who has asked us, are there any scholarships? I don't think scholarships are required, but you can, tell us, tell everyone why that is.
Yeah, so another interesting factor about ICD that I really missed to mention in the beginning is that before I even talk about it, recently on LinkedIn, I do see Indian students posting about how the cost of moving abroad, pursuing a higher education has become very expensive. But the beauty of ICD Business School is we do not discriminate between EU as well as any other nationalities. The fees remain same. So if as an international student, at least for me, I moved here as an international student. So for me, the fees was completely different from any EU candidate to what I paid was different. But here, you're just going to pay the same fee. So that fee is like a minimal amount. And then on top of that, if your credentials are pretty good, I'm sure there are going to be scholarships that will be provided. So for that, just get into, for those details, just get into our website, which is nothing but icd.ie, wherein you can directly get in touch with our registrar. You can drop her a mail and she'll be the best person to help you out.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what we'll do is post this live. Once it
Mm-hmm.
goes out, we in the comment section, if you have a look, we will post the link to the program. And
Sure.
if you could share that email again, Sharon, then we'll happily, put
Correct.
it.
I'll do that. Yeah.
So, whatever follow ups all of you in the audience want to do, then,
Mm-hmm.
feel free to do that. So, that's, of course, that was the biggie, the highlight, because it is wonderful to get the same sort of tuition fee as EU students. We know it's sometimes three times the amount that is offered. So, it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity that ICD Business School provides to international students. Um, Now let's move closer into what this program is all about. I know you've given a sort of roundabout idea of, so second semester is more financial focused, your final semesters maybe internship. Any, content, course content that you want to focus on or that you enjoy teaching that you'd like to share with everyone?
So I currently teach the strategic financial management for this program.
Right.
And to be very honest, not just my module, but I feel the entire program is structured in such a manner that it's theoretical as well as practical. So you have your theoretical concepts in place, and then you are also taught how to apply these theoretical concepts into your practical realm. So that itself is the beauty about this program. And once you pursue this course, it's not just your financial expertise, but I did emphasize on a module called as data analytics. So you also become an expert with regard to how to evaluate that data. So
Yeah.
most of the courses you might learn about finance, but you might not know how to evaluate those data or what are the tools used to analyze those data.
Yeah.
So here at ICD, we do emphasize on those tools. And then you are also industry ready because the last semester you automatically go to a company and you are building your contacts. So you are there in the industry making your contacts. So it's the communication skills, it's the leadership within you that gets developed. So overall, it's a package. That's how I look at into this particular program.
Program. Yeah, yeah. Great, great. And also, why? So, how old is this particular program? Would you know?
Uh,
It's
we've,
been going.
we've we've been running this course for quite some time, almost 5, 6 years down. So it's quite some time, and we do see our graduates doing really well in the third semester, especially because it's a work experience kind of a module wherein people are, people really get placed very easily, very soon. Considering the competition in the job market and having full 3 months for you to
Yeah,
explore, that
yeah.
makes your path really easy into the job market.
And it's a big advantage considering the financial services sector in Ireland is booming. So,
Correct.
as you
So
said, you're
we
not.
all know all the tech giants have their headquarters here,
Yeah,
to name a few,
yeah,
Google, Meta. So these are the popular brands that is already established here. And it's not just those big brands, but I do see, at least from the time I have moved in, I do see there's a lot of startups that have been giving, opportunities to these youngsters. So it's very easy to train them at the beginning, at their entry level, to mold them at their entry level. So youngsters do have a lot of opportunity here.
Wonderful, wonderful. So there's also a question on why this versus a master's. Why this postgrad? I mean, I guess you've said that at least at ICD it is 1 year shorter than a master's,
Correct.
but why
Correct.
should they consider doing this over, a master's elsewhere in Ireland?
Yeah, so I think the answer is pretty clear. Just like you said, 2 year or 1 year, so it's always going to be a 1 year program that anybody would want to, pursue. And another thing, at a master's level, we do have options of employability, but
Yeah,
we do not have a module designated only for work opportunity. So when you look at this program straight away is for your employment purpose. So that itself makes the need pretty clear.
sure, sure, wonderful. And just I know there's another level of questions I do want to ask you, but
Mhm.
before we move on to that, you did
Mhm.
talk about diversity within the organization, within the business school, which brings out, varied sort of experiences to, how things are done there. But what about diversity amongst the student pool?
Yeah, so that itself is diverse. So we have students from India, we do have students from Brazil, we do have students from South Africa, we do have EU nationalities as well. So that itself is a very diverse pool for us. So it's not just among the team, but I think the students that we intake, that is also pretty diversified for us.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the other thing that I've heard about, ICT Business School is that you're very particular about classroom sizes. I mean, in
Correct.
here in India, you're used to, very big classrooms, and you sort of get lost in a class. So I think it's different with you.
Yeah, so for my personal experience, I moved here as a student,
Yes.
and the setup that I studied in, we had like a class of 70 and 80,
Yeah.
where even a lecturer recognizing you is pretty difficult. But
Mm.
at ICD Business School, the beauty is it's at the max 30 to 35 students in a class. And we would know the background of each and every student, because we do have students, as I already told you, there might be students who might not be from a finance or an accounts background, and the student might require an extra help from our end.
Yeah.
So there is a personal attention that has been given. So that's the beauty, when you know the student by his or her name, the background, what has the student done before, reaching here at ICD. That
Yeah.
itself is like a personal connect that you have with the student, and that's the beauty, having a small classroom size, your lecturer knowing you by name. So that itself makes you feel like home. So it's not like I just go there, nobody knows me, what am I doing? That's not the state when you come to ICD. And it's not just the best thing I would want to emphasize is it's not just the lecturers, but I do see the admin also knowing those students. So when you go to the administrative department, they will know you by name, they will know you which class are you in. So that's a different level of connection that we provide at ICD Business School.
Wonderful. And I mean, I think that that makes a lot of difference, especially when you're a young or not young, I mean,
An
international
immigrant
student.
into a new
Yeah,
country,
into a new country,
that
and to get
definitely
that
makes a huge
personalized
difference.
attention is,
Yeah.
I mean, you could pay big bucks for something like that,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that is so wonderful to hear. So now, okay, so you've told us, everyone, that you have been an international student, and in fact, I would say you're one of our success stories, and I'm so proud to have heard that you came from India, Bangalore, right? I think you had said, or you were working in Bangalore before. Yeah,
I no,
and
I was working in Bangalore.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. So, so tell us, Sharon, a little bit about your story. How did you come to, sort of being in Ireland as an international student?
Okay, so for me, the thing, I was working back in India for almost 6 years as an assistant professor, and I was doing pretty well in terms of
Yeah.
my career. But the only thing is, I thought like it's become a little stagnant. I really need to upskill. And since I was in the field of education, I did want to know what's happening because I was always always a part of the Indian market. I did not really globally. So I wanted to move out
Mm-hmm.
somewhere and pursue my further, then look forward. So why Ireland, if you ask me, the answer is, I think, pretty simple, because UK at that time, when I was looking at UK was almost at its recession phase. And the next favorable destination for me was Ireland, considering the fact that after you're done with your masters, you have a 2 years post study visa that gives more opportunity for me to explore, right? And but once you are into an EU market, your opportunities are open for the other EU countries as well. Once you are established here, it is a fair thing to look forward. So I think that's why Ireland. And I was always interested into the field of teaching. So I remember telling you the other day, India does not
Yeah.
have a post called as quality officer. We
Yeah.
do have different terms, but we do not have quality officer. And coming here, doing that as a part of my job, and then teaching, I feel like there's a balance that gets struck. I'm able to enjoy my profession as a teacher. At the same
Mm-hmm.
time, I am getting accustomed to the quality of work. I know on what basis your curriculum gets framed, how the education system runs. So I'm aware about the entire background about about the education market. So that's the beauty for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And one we sorry. So just before I continue on that, would you be able? There's another question around the tuition fee. So maybe if you could give, would you have an idea about what the tuition fee is at ICD Business School for the postgrad diploma versus a master's?
No, I will not have an idea about it. So
Okay.
for
So
that, you will have to contact the registrar, for which I will
fantastic.
definitely provide the email ID. Yeah.
Okay. Suraj has asked another question. Are there any programs that provide exemptions for ACCA or CFA related subjects?
Yeah, we do have our bachelor's program as well as our master's program does provide an exemption. So our postgraduate diploma doesn't, but the others do.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. So Suraj, I hope that that helps you. Do explore ICD, their website, and we will be sharing the email post this. So you can reach out to them and get all the information that you want. They're a very wonderful team and very easy to reach out to. So that shouldn't be a problem. Now, just getting back to what you said, Sharon. It is, as I said, wonderful to hear about your experience in particular, because we have students, of course, who've stayed back to do marketing jobs, financial jobs. They're working with Amazon, they're working with Google, in the STEM sector, which is huge, of course, in Ireland. But teaching, we do have students who've got jobs teaching, and you are a primary example of that. So it's an inspiration for all those from here, thereabouts in South Asia, who may want to sort of get those sorts of degrees and find relevant jobs like this also abroad. So, my next question to you would be around your sort of student experience, in the sense, how did you transition from a student visa to when you started working in Ireland? If you could just give a little bit of an idea on that.
Yeah. So when you move to Ireland as a student, you come on a stamp two visa. So that stamp two visa lasts till the period you are a student, till the time you finish your course. So if your course is for a 1 year period, you be on stamp two. If it's a 2 year period, then accordingly, those 2 years you're going to be on stamp two. And then moving forward, what happens, irrespective of whether you find a job or you do not find a job, as I made it very clear, once you are done with your academics in Ireland, you have your certificate with you, you are automatically eligible to apply for a postgraduate visa, which is your stamp 1G.
Mhm.
So, irrespective of whether you have a full-time job or not, to be on stamp 1G. And, recruiters recruit you on the basis of your stamp 1G. And along the period of time, as you progress, of course, then it gets on stamp 4 and so on. So the initial journey starts from stamp 2, followed by stamp 1G for a 2 year period. By then, you successfully find an employer who's going to recruit you for a full-time job, and accordingly, if the employer decides to change you from stamp 1G to stamp 1, then it gradually happens. So if you ask me, it's a process that requires a lot of patience, and
Yeah.
it's a gradual process. So about the visa part.
Yeah, thank you. And it's, as you said, yes, it is a stepwise, gradual process, but well worth the effort. And to stay back, and then, sort of those who are, of course, looking to stay back and not return to their home country. The other thing I just wanted to, if
Mhm.
you could just give,
Mhm.
tell us about, the sort of reception you got uh, living in Ireland by the Irish, by the local population, because that's sometimes a concern for students coming from here. How has it been for you, even in your student life and in your work life?
Yeah, so the experience is amazing. People do talk about discrimination, maybe on our race, our ethnicity, but personally speaking, I have not really experienced it. I am not sure if that's a true factor because the Irish, unlike us, are more welcoming. They,
Yeah,
whenever you meet them, even if you meet a stranger on the road, they would welcome you with a smile. They would at least say hi, even if they don't know you. They will say hi, good morning. So whether it's your workplace, whether when I look back as a student, even my professors were so approachable. So I think it's pretty simple. It's just that you have to come here with an open mindset. Of course, things
yeah,
are not going to be exactly the same like India, whether it's the weather, whether you're talking about the food, whether your lifestyle, and again the time change. Like our autumn, our winters are especially too harsh, and then we do have spring wherein the day is longer. So you just come here with a very open mindset, and it's a matter of adaptability. I wouldn't say the journey is easy, but it's about how you adapt over the period of time. So it's gonna take time, so fix that in your mind that it's going to take time. It's not an overnight thing that would happen. It's going to take time for you to gradually accept
mm,
it. So after a year or two, I think you will be there in sync. So I don't think that's a worry. That needs to be a worry because as an individual, when you're planning to move from India to another country, I'm sure you would have thought about all these aspects and then only would have decided to move here, right? So it's a matter of adapting it and surviving it. So I don't think that's a big deal.
sure. Thank you. And Sharon, I know we are almost out of time, but if you could end with
Yeah,
giving us,
Anam, if you don't mind,
yeah,
If you don't mind, I also want to add in one little aspect here
please,
with regard to employability.
yes,
Because back in India, I was working for almost 6 years.
yeah,
If you ask me my resume when I submitted it here, they just said, "What have you written?" Because I just went to an education expert on campus when I was a student, and they just asked me, "What is this resume about?" And I said, "This is the resume that got me a job back in India." And our resumes run from 3 to 4 pages.
yeah,
That's how our resume back in India looks like.
yeah,
And my counselor just said, "Can you just shorten it to one page?"
great.
And I was like, "How am I supposed to do it? Something that is 3 to 4 pages long. How do you expect me to shorten it to one page?" So I would just tell you, like, things are pretty different from India to the job market here. So when you're coming, uh, be open minded, do your research properly. So something that is acceptable back in India, 3 4 pages of resume is not going to be acceptable here in Ireland. So you need to cut it short to one page, and then you have to also decide what fits into that one page because there's a lot of portion that you will have to leave. So you need
Yes,
to figure out what's important that gets fit in there. And again, with regard to your employability, back in India, I do see that you get tested on your subject knowledge, which is given greater importance. Here, I see that, of course, subject knowledge plays a role, but along with that, it's your personality. They want to see how, as an individual, you will fit into their workspace.
yeah,
So it's not just your subject knowledge that's going to fetch you a job, but you as an individual. So I think it's a psychological factor that's going to help you get you placed into a job. So do not think I am doing really well in India and this is what has got me a job. It's the same mantra that's going to used back here in Ireland. So you need to be ready for those changes. So that's one additional thing, at least as a student, and then turning to a professional person bring to your notice.
Great, great. No, I think that's really valuable advice, and you're talking from experience, which I'm sure everyone here will appreciate greatly. And so, just Shannon, to sum up, if you want to have some final words that you want to say about ICD Business School, maybe the top three reasons why someone should choose to study there.
Okay, perfect. So I'm here to represent ICD, and I would definitely want to see students who are attending this live session or who are, looking at this, who might be viewing this interview later. The first and foremost reason to welcome you at ICD is your personal touch, your personal feel. We would never let you, feel out of space. You are an immigrant coming to this country, so whether it is your education, whether it is your accommodation, we are right there to help you out. And to emphasize on the postgraduate diploma, as I already told you, it's a 1 year program, making your path pretty easy for employment. So that is another reason why I feel you should consider ICD. And the last but the most important reason would be our tuition fee, which is the attraction. Our tuition fee in par with the EU nationals without any discrimination. That itself is a big gateway for you to, come join us at ICD Business School.
Great, thank you. That's a great way to sum it up, Sharon. So, if you're looking to get a reasonable degree that will get you the right skills and make you job ready in 1 year in Ireland, then choose to study at ICD Business Program. And we will now be sharing more information on this particular program on ICD and an email that you can reach out to if you have any more questions. Thank you, Sharon, once again. I've also learned a lot during this half an hour. And thank you for also talking about your experience as a student. I think it'll be very inspiring to a lot of people joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anam. From the beginning, from the time we've been coordinating to this day where the execution has actually happened, I really recognize and appreciate all your effort and hope this relationship between us continues. Yeah, thank you so much
Definitely.
for the opportunity.
Definitely. And hope to see students from India and South Asia coming to ICD Business School soon.
Sure, sure.
Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in.
Thank you
See
so
you
much.
next time. Bye bye.
Bye.